oh my gosh, on the road again. I'm on my way to San Diego, but I just had to take a minute and show you guys a beautiful Navajo Nation. Let me see if I can show you. Okay, we've got the cliffs, and if you notice the sky, guys, we're right around Gallup. Hi, Erica, great to see you. This is so beautiful. We just drove through a rainstorm, and now it's beautiful sunny. That's the Land of Enchantment, you guys. I love seeing the hearts. Thanks, you guys. So, you know, I was talking to Erica, and I was reminded of how important and special the Navajo Nation is to me and in the world of nonprofits. You know, in my last scope I did with you guys, I talked about gratitude, right? And it was so interesting how when you're on the right path, beautiful things happen. So I go in and the TV's on Oprah's live class, and all these quotes are going on about gratitude. Goldie Hawn, all of the folks were talking. I thought, that's interesting. I don't remember being on that channel. So I pushed previous, you know how you go to the next channel, saying, where was I? And Ellen DeGeneres is doing her monologue, and she's talking that every day she starts out with gratitude. And so how powerful as we start this journey going to San Diego, and to be able to share with you the power of purpose. That's what we have, the power of purpose. So look that up. But to really live your purpose. And for me, you guys, the Navajo Nation, when I moved back from Washington, D.C., leading a movement, building one nonprofit and leading it into 800 nonprofits. Hi, Living Legacy, great to see you. Talk about a nonprofit. There's a national nonprofit right there. Then, and Eric, I love what you're saying, much better than Albuquerque weather. It's beautiful, you guys. I'm going to show you something else. I'm not real good at changing, but look at this. Look at all the different bluffs. This is right outside of Gallup. This is on the Navajo Nation. The bluffs. And you guys, if I was better at this, I'd show you the red bluffs. And here we are coming up to our beautiful teepees. And I'm going to show you. Here we are. Okay. Here's one of our teepees. But I got to tell you, in the Navajo Nation, they live in hogans. Beautiful, beautiful. There's the teepee, so you notice how our trucks are. Look at the clouds behind me, you guys. Oh my gosh, there's Indian Village. The clouds coming up are incredible. Incredible. So you guys, it was really me to share this trip on the Navajo Nation with you, especially after last week when I went to the Southwest Disability Conference I've told you about. Thousands of people there, and I got to run across one of the young gals I mentored 15 years ago in my nonprofit corporation. I met Doris, and Doris had been in an accident, was paralyzed from the neck down. Her child had been killed in the accident. She'd been sent back to the Navajo reservation, a little tiny area 90 miles down a dirt road called Yatahe. And when I met her, her mother-in-law was pulling her in and out of the, oh, Erica, thanks for letting me know about the connection problems. I knew it right here where we are. Tracy was gonna pull over. So let me know, you guys, if you can see Doris. I mean, 15 years ago, I met her and she was timid, didn't talk, really lost in life. Her mother-in-law had to pull her in and out of her house in a cardboard box because she didn't have a wheelchair, she didn't have doors that are wider. So our nonprofit came in, and through our funding, we were able to empower her with the assistive technology, the tools, You guys, you should see, one of these times when I scope, I'll show you the jewelry she makes, the beading she does with her mouth and with the string. It's amazing. She travels around the world now and displays and sells her artwork. So the power of the nonprofit, when I went into this conference last week at the Albuquerque Convention Center, I didn't know I'd be seeing Doris. And Doris was doing one of the keynotes. And Doris had a PowerPoint presentation with a picture, every slide, a picture of us, talking about her journey and what made it possible for her to be where she is today. It was the power of the nonprofit that reached in. And think about the economics, you guys. Think about the economics of her living in the nursing home at 15, thousand a month. Some of them, living there thousands. And we were able to let her live in the community, go back to her home, and hire her mother-in-law as her attendant. This is where we birthed the personal care option. Many of you have heard me talk about that. The personal care option, that's what you do in a nonprofit. You create common sense solutions that make a difference in people's lives, in our economy, in our state budgets. And when I came home from Washington, D.C., and was going back to get my PhD, left the disability movement, or so I thought, right? You know how life takes us on different pathways. And I started being called back into nursing homes, there in Farmington, on the border town of the Navajo Nation. And I kept being called in and asked, hey, come and see this young kid with a brain injury that's in a nursing home. I'm trying to time this. This is the first time I've done it in the car, so you guys, this is fun. But when they would call me and I'd go in and see a young boy, Bradley, who'd been laying in a nursing home for 3 years. He had a severe injury, young Navajo kid, graduated from Shiprock High School, was on his way to Harvard. He had a scholarship. He was leading the Navajo Nation for the youth, showing them what they could do. Oh, thank you for this, looking at the picture and the sunset and the clouds. Thank you for commenting. It's beautiful. And so when I went in and I sat with his mom, and she said, I know he's in there, but it's been 3 years, and I have 7 younger sons. He's the eldest of 8 boys. And she said, I drive every day, 2 hours a day, one way to come and see him, right? And I beg the nursing home I'll clean out toilets just to get gas money to be able to spend my time with him. Wouldn't do it. And yet, when I started looking into it, our Medicaid, that's our tax dollars, you guys, we were spending $450,000 a year for this kid to lay in the bed of pee and get worse. And so as I looked at Bradley, because I was trapped in a body that couldn't respond, because I've gone down that journey, and when they were trying to make Bradley blink and his eyes were dried out, I know how that feels, all the things, and I noticed that he had one leg that kept moving. And I said, Bradley, if you know I'm here, and you know I've been down this road, and I'm staying right with you, and you want to go home and see your brothers, and we're going to do it together, if you want me to do that, you let me know. You show me why your leg. And you guys, his leg almost hit the ceiling. And so my motivation, my inspiration, my being a soldier in the Army of Compassion was for Bradley. For him not having a voice. We're the voice. And so got with Doris Dennis and got with people like that. And we are a nonprofit. We started a peer support group. We brought in people like Doris that have lived it, that said, you know what, we're going to pay you to come in and work with people like Bradley, and let's empower them. Let's help them control their destiny. And I'll tell you a lot more later, because I want you to enjoy this beautiful sunset with me. But we created a program that Governor Johnson, back in the 90s, he got it. The first time we went and talked about quality of life and what we could do, and he was like, yeah, pat on the head, but I'm dealing with budget, right? The second time we're a little more savvy, and we went in and we talked about the economics and how we're paying $450,000 a year, our tax dollars, our Medicaid dollars, that is the biggest drain on our budgets. And we could let them live at home with an attendant for 1/100th of that money, create a job, and create an economic impact in our state. He got it. So Governor Johnson, we created a program, the personal care option, consumer directed, where people hire and fire their own attendants. We charge the state to be the fiscal agent, right? Because a nonprofit is a powerful business entity. You guys, I'm working on a new PowerPoint. I'm going to share my new web class with you guys on why a nonprofit and why now. Never, 35 years I've known. I was way ahead of my time. Now, Inc. magazine, Forbes, Huffington Post, they're all talking about the power of the nonprofit corporation. Inc. magazine says start a company, change the world, and do it with a nonprofit. Thanks, Erica. Thanks for sharing. Thanks, inviting your followers. You guys, I love this because this platform gives us a chance to create a community and share these stories like we did with Bradley. And you guys, what we were able to do through the personal care option, people like Doris, we were able to take Bradley home, and we showed up in this community, 300 people, teachers, principals, superintendents, all came to share Bradley's journey. And now to have Doris go from living a life with no control, to now being a national spokesperson, you guys, that's what it's all about, the nonprofits. So it's so powerful for me to be here because Doris shared a story with me that I want you to hear. As she did the PowerPoint with 1,500 people and shared her journey of going from laying lifeless to being now an advocate for the Native Americans. She shared 10 years ago, her and I and Raho went to the Navajo Nation there in Window Rock, and we talked to the leaders about people with disabilities and seniors. They have such a respect for their elders. You guys, we have so much to learn from them. Their respect. So to bring their elders home, and Raho was a young Navajo boy in a wheelchair who had been destined to be a medicine man. But because of his injury and in a wheelchair, he wasn't accepted by the tribe. And so he was able to teach the tribe the power of understanding that it's just part of a life's journey. And he realized that his mission in life was to make a difference for elders and to help elders move home. So in this little tiny personal care option program that we just did it because we saw people being warehoused and we saw our tax dollars being spent so crazy, right? We didn't have all the answers, but we knew what was happening wasn't right. Within the first year, my nonprofit was making $50,000 a month passive income. So you can imagine my investment portfolio where I was able to make huge impact in housing. We set up our own bank, but because of that funding, we're a business. Remember, a nonprofit's a corporation. We charge for our services, but more than that, it's a social significance. Because we got 200 people out of nursing homes that first year. And they were able to move back home to their Hogan and Sheep Springs and Yatahe and Aztec, Farmington. and live a life of the American dream. And we created 400 jobs. And we took that money that we as taxpayers are spending, and that cost the state $14,000 a year. Plus we created a job. Plus they were paying taxes again. Plus they would testify with me in Santa Fe that, wow, they were getting $500 a month for TANF to do child care while they're looking for a job. Now they're paying a local child care provider $500 a month. Look at the economics, you guys. Erica, the passion is because I've been through it, and you guys, you have so much to offer too. Thank you, Erica. Just knowing that Doris is out there making an impact, and listening to her talk at the conference. And I want to share the end of this story about her being able to be in Window Rock and talk about the need for houses that are 90 miles off a dirt road with people in wheelchairs and no running water, no electricity, and let's do a plan, let's prioritize them. Think about what we shared with Derek and Erica with Middleton last week, when Middleton, in that huge fire, lost 6 of their folks. 6 of their folks. Oh, you guys, Sherry and Doris are legends. Well, Doris is a legend. Doris is a legend because it really hit home when we talked to Moak, and he shared that the lives lost in that fire were people in wheelchairs that couldn't get out. Same thing in Katrina. And so that's been our life journey. Now, Doris worked for 10 years when we went to the Navajo Nation. We worked on this legislation, and she's known as the biggest advocate for Native American people. And she got a call a few months ago, rode up to Window Rock, drove her own van. You guys, paralyzed from the neck down, you need to know all these things. And the president of the Navajo Nation signed the bill into law, known as Doris Law. And you guys, by having the nonprofit, where we were able to have the funding to pay my salary, to pay all my administration salary, so that we could go out and meet with people like Doris, we could find out how we could provide the tools and resources to empower them. And Doris is so funny, she goes, I never used to talk, but Sherry started making me talk. And now she's a lead advocate making things happen. So you guys, I just wanted to share this with you and share the power of purpose that I learned on my journey, that I've learned that you don't have to have a purpose. You have to take your talents, whether you're a marketer, whether you're an internet marketer, whether you're a motivational speaker, whether you work for somebody. Think about what you could do to make a difference in the lives of people around this country, around this world. And this really came into play today as we're driving down the road, and Derek and I and Ryan, our team at the Power of Purpose, we were talking with one of our mentoring students. We were having a great day, and we were talking about the funding they found. Our lead mentor connected, again, connecting, and connected with some of our leaders at the state agency, our housing authority, and they're going to grant money to this nonprofit to go out and provide rehabilitation, home modification, widen the doorways, put a ramp in for people within our counties on the Navajo Nation. So you guys, talking to them today, reminiscing, been at the conference last week with Doris and all them, and being on our way to San Diego, driving through the Navajo Nation. I can wait to share with you guys. So remaining grateful, staying in gratitude, and I'm going to share more and more with you as we journey to San Diego. So stay tuned, because it's a beautiful. And when I shared the gratitude with you a couple of days ago and told a little of my story and how I'm so grateful for my coaches, my mentors, people that pushed me beyond what I thought was possible, reach out to someone right now. Share your gratitude. When I got off the last scope, I reached out to 2 friends I haven't talked to in a long time, just to let them know how much I love them and how much they mean. And my gratitude right now, reaching out, I'm getting ready to go see my mom in Sun City West. So reach out, be grateful, and you guys will talk soon.